Hello, once again, I am Dr. Paris von Lockett, and I will be talking to you about ME330 computational tools. And the title of this lecture is looking at the virtual desktop interface, the VDI for the College of Engineering. So the VDI, or this virtual desktop infrastructure, is a system set up by the College of Engineering so that you, the student, can access high-end software without necessarily having to purchase it for yourself or even have it resident on your computer. What this allows you to do is access a server that's maintained by NCTS, and the software is resident on their computer. It runs on their computer, but the interface for it, the graphics are all ported to your desktop. So it runs just like a virtual Windows platform sitting right on your desktop. Now, there are a couple of things that are important to be aware of when using the VDI. Number one is that there's a limited number of virtual machines available for participating departments. What does that mean? That means when everybody's actually trying to use this VDI interface, it can actually get slow, or you could possibly get locked out of the VDI or locked out of the software that you need. And heavy usage times, and possibly near where homework is due, near finals, near midterm projects, then you can expect that that might be a problem, which is why there's another possibility of using web apps, which you may be more familiar with. But in our experience, web apps is a little bit slower and sometimes possibly a little more glitchy than the VDI. So the VDI should be your mainstay, but if for some reason you can't access it, then yes, try switching over to web apps. Secondly, something you have to do, to be able to run SolidWorks with the FEA modules, you're going to need to increase your disk quota through NCTS. And you can do that at work.psu.edu, as it says down at the bottom, but we'll run through an example of how to do that in some upcoming slides. So to increase this workspace, called your pass space, we'll navigate to this work.psu.edu. A little screen will pop up in one corner. That looks like this excerpt here. And right in this section that's marked in red, you're going to change your quota. And what you want to do is change it to the max. You should be available to ramp it up to 10 gigabytes. Just go for the max. If you don't, then what can happen is that SolidWorks, when it's trying to solve these problems, solve these models, will return some errors, and the errors are really hard to diagnose. You can't necessarily track down exactly what it is, but one thing we've noticed is that if you don't have the quota set to the max, then lots of people have errors from various sources. So go ahead and change this, and it'll rule out that cause of error. And we'll show you how to do that on the next slide. Okay, the steps to initiate the VDI can be found at these links, nctspsu.edu/VDI. That first one we dealt with, it's got the full list of instructions, it's got the link to the work.psu, and then down near the bottom of the page, it has direct steps for accessing the VDI, and that's at labs.engr.psu.edu. Try, load those two things. As you're loading those pages, switch over to the next video in the series, which will deal with how to access and step through that setup process. And I'll demonstrate it for you. All right, folks, thanks for watching. And hopefully you've got some access tools to get onto the VDI, some places to start looking. Get those things set up on your computer as you get over to the next Canvas video where I run through the demonstration. You can follow along from there. All right, thanks. Thanks for participating, and we'll see you next time.